The Volkswagen Golf had a 14-year reign in Europe where it was the best-selling car between 2007 and 2021. Last year, the compact hatchback wagon duo didn't even make it on the podium as it had to settle for 5th place, behind the Peugeot 208, Dacia Sandero, VW T-Roc, and the Fiat/Abarth 500. Data compiled by JATO Dynamics showed demand plummeted by 14% to 177,000 units, with the Toyota Yaris breathing down its neck. Before we get into the video, make sure to like and subscribe so you do not miss the latest electric vehicle news. Let's get back into the video. In a bid to rejuvenate sales, VW has already announced it will give the Golf a nip and tuck in 2024 when the mechanically related Skoda Octavia will also get an update. It might just be the final revision for the conventionally powered model, as the 9th generation will be sold strictly as an EV. An unofficial rendering previews next year's mid-cycle update by taking inspiration from a recently spotted prototype that had a minimal amount of camouflage. From what VW has allowed us to see thus far, the 2024 Golf will have redesigned headlights and a new look for the bumper with vertical slats. It should be mentioned the test vehicle was an e-hybrid version, whereas this digital design exercise illustrates a non-PHEV model by doing away with the charging port on the driver's side. The 5-door hatch has been imagined in R-line specification with subtle changes to the tail lights. In typical German automaker fashion, the styling changes will be discreet. VW typically plays it safe with the modifications it makes during a product's life cycle, which is something we can't say about Hyundai and Kia, as the two South Korean brands apply major revisions. While the adjacent rendering is all about the exterior, we do know there will be some updates inside the cabin. Judging by what we saw on a prototype a while back, the Golf facelift is getting a larger touchscreen. It could be the same 15-inch unit installed on the ID.7, since the display spotted inside a test vehicle was bigger than the 12-inch screen of the ID.3 facelift. VW has pledged to embark on a qualify offensive and to remove touch-sensitive buttons from the steering wheel as a response to consumer criticism. Logic tells us there will be cleaner engines since Euro 7 will be coming into effect in July 2025. The stricter legislation is also going to force changes to brakes and tires as part of a wider set of laws to reduce the harmful impact vehicles have on our already fragile world. VW has been quite vocal about how Euro 7 is going to drive up the prices of ICE cars, so much so the Polo could be discontinued. The VW Golf is one of the most popular nameplates in the automotive world, and despite the fact that globally, compact hatchbacks have lost their sales dominance to SUVs, it still remains a very important model for the German brand. VW CEO Thomas Schaefer has confirmed that a mid-life cycle update for the 8th Gen Golf is coming in 2024, so we gathered all the information we have together with some speculative illustrations showing what to expect from the facelift model. The current 8th Gen Golf was originally introduced in 2019, so it is no surprise that VW is planning an update for 2024, previously thought to be introduced later this year. In general, the VW group has a rather subtle approach to facelifts, but this doesn't mean that the Golf won't get important visual and technological revisions. Prototypes of the facelift VW Golf have already made their first appearance on the road, but they are still hiding under the current model's bodywork and lighting units. The renderings we created depict the possible changes on the compact hatchback, which will remain instantly recognizable as a Golf, honoring its heritage and VW's evolutionary approach for this particular model. While the greenhouse and profile will be carried over, the new bumpers with redesigned intakes could help give the model a fresh look. More importantly, the new LED graphics for the headlights and taillights could be inspired by the ID family of EVs. VW will likely retain the distinct body kits for the performance-focused GTI/GTD/GTE and their trims. However, even the base Golf is expected to look sportier than its predecessor, similar to what happened with the facelift 2024 VW ID.3. Our spy shots have given us a glimpse of the interior changes, as prototypes have revealed some of the new components inside the cabin. The centerpiece will be a significantly larger touchscreen for the infotainment system. This new screen, which looks very similar to the 15-inch unit found in the fully electric VW ID.7, will be a major upgrade. However, lower trims may come equipped with a smaller 12-inch screen like the one on the ID.3, which is still larger than the current Golf's 10-inch display. Volkswagen has pledged to get rid of the touch-sensitive controls on the steering wheel, and the Golf might be one of the first models to revert back to physical buttons. The new steering wheel will eventually find its way to the entire VW range. The facelift Golf might also get new materials of improved quality, and new tech features like the digitally controlled smart air vents that will debut on the ID.7. Furthermore, it should be expected that the new model will come with a more generous dose of advanced driver assistance systems, in addition to the central airbag that was introduced for the 2023 model year, which allowed it to achieve a 5-star rating. The 2024 Golf will be based on a slightly improved version of the MQB Evo architecture, which will also be used by the mechanically related Tiguan and the larger Passat variant, among other models from the VW group. Engineers will improve the chassis setup, handling, and ride of the model, which has always been treated as an all-around benchmark in the compact segment. In terms of powertrains, the facelift model will most likely be the last ICE-powered Golf before VW becomes an EV-only brand in 2033, which is why there won't be any surprises under the bonnet. The updated 1.5 TSI Evo 2 turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine will sit at the core of the range, featuring mild hybrid tech, while the entry-level 1.0 ETSI might also get some updates to improve its environmental credentials. We don't know whether the 2.0 TDI will make one last appearance before the demise of the diesel. However, the 2.0 TSI will certainly make a comeback in the GTI and our hot hatches, possibly with a small dose of electrification. More emphasis will be given to the e-hybrid GTE, which could gain the next-gen PHEV system based around the 1.5 TSI and a 7-speed DSG instead of the old 1.4 TSI and 6-speed DSG setup that is currently used. VW has hinted at a combined power output of up to 268 horsepower for its future PHEVs, alongside a significantly increased targeted zero-emission range of up to 100 kilometers between charges thanks to a new battery pack. While some rivals including the Peugeot 308 and the Opel Astra have expanded their range with EV-only variants, VW won't invest in electrifying the MQB when it already has the MEB architecture in hand. The fully electric ID.3 is very close to the Golf in terms of footing and market positioning, although there are reports about a slightly smaller ID Golf. The latter could be offered as an alternative to its ICE-powered counterpart until the end of its life cycle, which could happen anytime between 2028 and 2030. With the official debut of the facelift VW Golf MK8 coming in 2024, we expect more revealing shots of production-bodied prototypes later this year, giving us a better idea of its exterior and interior design. Thankfully, VW recently decided to keep the legend of the Golf alive in the EV era, which means that the updated model won't be the last to bear the iconic moniker. That is it for today. Make sure you like and subscribe.